My name is Aaron, and I never imagined that one of the proudest moments of my life would turn into a scene straight out of a nightmare. I served in the Army for 8 years. I'd been through firefights, IED blasts, and missions that tested every ounce of who I was. But nothing prepared me for the chaos that unfolded during my Purple Heart ceremony, the day my stepmother lost control and did something that made the entire room freeze. I grew up in a small Midwestern town. My mom passed away when I was 12, and my dad remarried 2 years later to Denise, a woman who, from the start, made it clear I was more of an inconvenience than a son. She wasn't cruel in the loud way. She was the kind who used silence like a weapon. My dad adored her, though, so I learned to stay out of her way. When I enlisted after high school, I think part of her was relieved to have me gone. Fast forward years later. I'd served 3 tours overseas. On my last deployment, my unit was ambushed. I helped pull 2 men out of a burning vehicle before an explosion threw me backward. I woke up in a field hospital with shrapnel in my leg and burns across my shoulder. The doctors told me I'd walk again, but never the same. I was medically discharged after that, and 6 months later, the Army arranged a Purple Heart ceremony for my service and injury. The event was held in a large hall at the local base. My dad, Denise, and my younger half-brother, Tyler, came to support me. I hadn't seen them in over a year, and even though things were awkward, I wanted my family there. My dad seemed proud. Denise wore that tight, polite smile she always did when she didn't want to be somewhere. The room was filled with soldiers, families, and high-ranking officers. When the 3-star general, General Whitaker, walked in, everyone stood. He was an imposing man but kind, with a firm handshake that made you feel seen. He called my name to the stage, handed me the medal, and shook my hand. Cameras flashed. For a moment, it felt like the weight of everything, the pain, the recovery, the nightmares, had led to something meaningful. Then the general leaned toward me and said quietly, "Son, I heard about what you did that day. You saved lives. I'd like you to meet me after this." I nodded, honored beyond words. As I stepped off the stage, I saw my dad beaming, and Denise, arms folded, rolling her eyes. After the ceremony, people gathered around to congratulate me. The general approached again and asked if I could help him greet some of the younger soldiers, saying, "It might mean a lot for them to hear your story." I agreed. As we talked, Denise walked up, her face tight with irritation. "Aaron," she said sharply, "we need to go. Your father isn't feeling well." I looked at Dad. He seemed fine. "In a minute," I said. "The general just asked me to stay for a bit." That's when everything snapped. Denise grabbed my arm hard enough to hurt. "You've had your little show," she hissed. "We came all this way. Stop embarrassing us." I gently pulled my arm back, trying to stay calm. "Denise, please. Just 5 minutes." The general turned toward her, confused but polite. "Ma'am, I assure you, your stepson isn't embarrassing anyone. He's an honorable soldier." That should have been the end of it, but instead, Denise's face twisted in a way I'll never forget. She glared at him, then at me, and said loudly, "You think you're some kind of hero? You've done nothing but take from this family." People nearby turned to look. My dad tried to calm her, whispering her name, but she shoved his hand away. Before I could even react, she reached for one of the folding chairs beside her, and swung it. The metal slammed into my shoulder, right where my burn scars were. The pain shot through me so suddenly that I almost blacked out. The entire hall went silent, gasps echoing everywhere. My dad yelled her name, the general shouted for security, and 2 soldiers rushed forward to pull her back. She screamed, "You ruined everything. He gets all the attention while we struggle." Her voice broke as the MPs restrained her. The general knelt beside me, his hand on my arm. "You okay, son?" I nodded weakly, my heart pounding. My dad stood frozen, shock written all over his face. Tyler started crying. It was chaos, cameras flashing again, but now for all the wrong reasons. Security escorted Denise out of the hall, still yelling incoherently. My dad went after her, torn between shame and disbelief. The general looked furious but composed. "We'll handle this," he said firmly. "But you did nothing wrong, Sergeant." After things settled, I insisted I didn't need medical attention, though my shoulder was throbbing. The general personally drove me to the base's med office just to be sure. On the way there, he said quietly, "You showed more restraint in 5 minutes than some men show in a lifetime." The next day, news of the incident spread. It turned out someone had recorded it. While the video made headlines locally, the army quickly issued a statement supporting me and condemning the attack. Denise was charged with assault, and though I refused to press further, the court mandated counseling and community service. My dad reached out weeks later, apologizing over and over, saying he hadn't realized how much resentment she carried. I told him it wasn't his fault, but I needed space. Months passed. My shoulder healed. The general kept in touch, and to my surprise, offered me a civilian job helping with veteran outreach. "You've got something most people don't, empathy that comes from surviving," he said. When I accepted the job, I realized something important. The chair she swung that day wasn't about hate, it was about pain, envy, and everything she never resolved. But it didn't break me. It just proved that sometimes the strongest thing a soldier can do isn't fight. It stand still, take the hit, and keep moving forward. So yeah, at my Purple Heart ceremony, my stepmom hit me with a chair. But what everyone remembers most isn't her rage, it's how everything stopped, and I stayed standing.